Amelia Hayes stood in the arrivals section of the Chicago airport, clutching a cardboard sign that read, Mr. Bennett, in her sister's hurried handwriting. She checked her phone for what felt like the 100th time, rereading the frantic text from Lila that had come 20 minutes earlier. Disaster. Food poisoning from lunch. Can't pick up Mom's client. Please go to the airport right now. Hold a sign with his name. He's flying in from Paris. This could make or break my job. I'm begging you. Amelia had been halfway through her shift at the local library when the messages started coming in a desperate cascade. Her mother ran a premium lifestyle management company catering to wealthy clients, and Lila had recently started working there to prove herself. Apparently, this Mr. Bennett was a major potential client, and missing his pickup would be catastrophic. So here she was, wearing jeans, sneakers, and a cozy cardigan, feeling awkward and out of place among the sleek business travelers striding past with their designer luggage. At 27, Amelia was used to being the stand-in, the dependable one called when someone else's plans fell apart. Lila was the glamorous one, the confident one, the sister who fit seamlessly into their mother's glittering high society world. Amelia preferred quiet corners, coffee and novels to luxury cars and business banter. Excuse me, are you here for Bennett? Amelia turned and found a man in his late 30s standing before her. He wore a tailored navy coat over a crisp suit, his dark blonde hair perfectly styled, his green eyes sharp but kind. He had that quiet, powerful air of someone used to being listened to. Yes, Amelia said quickly, trying to sound composed. Mr. Bennett, I'm here to take you to your hotel. I'm Amelia Hayes, filling in for my sister, Lila. He studied her for a moment before nodding. I see. Well, lead the way, Miss Hayes. As they walked toward the parking garage, Amelia tried to recall the details Lila had texted. British investor, very successful, possibly expanding business into the US. Be polite. Be charming, don't mess this up. How was your flight? She asked, hoping to fill the silence. Long, he said in a smooth British accent. Flying always feels longer when you'd rather be somewhere else. What line of work are you in, Mr. Bennett? Property investment, mainly in Europe. Though I'm looking into a few American markets now. They reached Lila's luxury sedan, far nicer than Amelia's beat-up old car, and she exhaled in relief that at least one thing looked professional. Mr. Bennett checked his phone as she pulled out of the parking structure. The silence was thick, so Amelia turned on a classical radio station, thinking it sounded sophisticated. Not what I expected, he said after a moment. The music. I can change it, he smiled faintly. No, I meant you. This service. Your sister said it was a family business, but I didn't expect something so personal. Usually these companies send chauffeurs. Well, this is a bit of an emergency, Amelia admitted. My sister got sick, and I'm the emergency replacement. I promise I'm a decent driver even if I don't look the part. His lips curved slightly. Honesty, that's rare. Most people pretend everything's perfect. I've never been good at pretending, she said. That's probably why I work at a library instead of with my family. You work at a library? His tone was curious. What kind? A small independent one downtown. We focus on classic literature and rare editions. It's quiet and full of stories. My kind of place. That actually sounds wonderful, he said. Better than boardrooms and investor meetings. Tell me, what are you reading right now? That question opened a door neither of them seemed eager to close. They spent the rest of the drive talking about books, favorite authors, and the joy of reading for pleasure. Amelia was surprised at how genuinely interested he seemed. How thoughtful his opinions were. You're not what I expected either, Mr. Bennett, she said at a red light. Most of my mom's clients only talk about money and status. He looked out the window. People forget that there's more to life than work. For a long time I did too. But success starts to lose meaning when you realize you're the only one around to enjoy it. His voice had softened, carrying something weary and honest that made Amelia glance over at him. He didn't look like a wealthy businessman just then. He looked lonely. "So," she said lightly, "if you could only keep one book for the rest of your life, what would it be?" He laughed, startled. "That's cruel. No one can answer that. All the best questions are impossible," she said. By the time they reached his hotel, a 5-star tower glowing in the evening light, Amelia realized she'd actually enjoyed herself. She hadn't been nervous or pretending. "Well, Mr. Bennett," she said, as the valet opened the door, "I hope this last-minute pickup was acceptable." "More than acceptable," he said, meeting her eyes. "It's been the best arrival I've ever had." "Glad to hear it." "Enjoy your stay. Have dinner with me," he said suddenly. Amelia froze. "Dinner? I don't think that's professional." "You're a client." "I'm not asking as a client," he said gently. "I'm asking as someone who just spent an hour talking with a woman who made me forget about business entirely. Please." "I don't even know your first name," she said. "It's Julian," he said with a grin. "Julian Bennett. Now will you join me?" Against all logic, Amelia said yes. That night they met at a cozy Italian restaurant Julian picked, a place warm with laughter and string lights, far from the sterile world of fine dining. Conversation flowed effortlessly. He told her about growing up in Dublin, losing his parents young and working his way up from nothing. She shared stories about her love of books, her quiet life, her feeling of never quite fitting into her family's glossy world. "Why do I feel like I can tell you things I don't tell anyone?" Julian asked as they split a piece of tiramisu. "Maybe because we weren't supposed to meet," Amelia said with a smile. "No expectations, no pretense," Julian hesitated. "About that. There's something I need to tell you." Her heart sank. "What?" "I'm not actually your mother's client," he said carefully. "I mean, I am Julian Bennett, but I'm not the one you were supposed to meet. I saw you holding that sign and assumed you were there for me. My assistant usually arranges a driver, but I figured this was him. It wasn't until we were halfway to the hotel that I realized something was off. You let me drive you all the way here without saying anything. At first I was confused. Then I realized you thought I was someone else. And you were so genuine, so real. I didn't want to ruin it. I thought I'd explain once we got here, but I didn't want the moment to end." Amelia blinked, torn between mortification and disbelief. "So you're telling me I picked up the wrong Mr. Bennett?" "Exactly," he said, looking sheepish. "But I did check. Your mother's actual client, Richard Bennett, was picked up by another service. No harm done. You checked." I felt terrible, but I'm not sorry it happened. Amelia wanted to be angry. She really did. But instead she laughed, a surprised, helpless laugh that made Julian's shoulders relax. "This is absurd," she said. "Completely ridiculous." "Maybe," he said softly. "But sometimes the best things start with mistakes." Julian stayed in Chicago a week longer than planned. They spent every evening together, exploring bookstores, sharing coffee, talking about everything from poetry to childhood dreams. On his last night, sitting in her favorite bookstore after closing, he took her hands. "I'm supposed to fly back to London on Sunday," he said quietly. "I know. Come with me," he said. "Or let me stay here. I don't care where, just don't let this end, Julian," she whispered. "We met a week ago. This is crazy, I know. But I also know that I'm falling for you. And maybe you're falling for me too." Amelia smiled through her tears. "You were supposed to be in my life by accident. Maybe that's how the right things happen," he said. By accident, he didn't fly back that week. Instead, he restructured his business to split time between London and Chicago. 6 months later, he proposed in the same arrival section where they'd met, holding a cardboard sign that read, "Will you marry the wrong Mr. Bennett?" At their wedding, Lila joked in her toast, "I always said Amelia should help more with Mom's clients. I just didn't think she'd find her husband doing it." Years later, whenever people asked how they met, Julian and Amelia would smile and say it was a long story about a sign, a mistake, and the kind of love that finds you when you're not looking. Because sometimes the wrong pickup leads you exactly where you're meant to be.